high ground as well, even the ledge around the church.
Yeah, I think this is one of the most interesting maps to play when I was playing.
Yep.
And what do you think of it, Resta? Do you like playing this?
And competitive, yeah, definitely. Yeah. It's also one of our better maps in Experiment. The meta has shifted quite a lot lately. Like on attack, it's kind of viable to take 2 Winstons now and to just jump onto the enemy team. They might go for double Widow, although at the moment it seems like Soon is gonna pick the McCree. Although when we scrimped against them, they already played double Winston, double Widow strat with 1 Widow flanking.
Yeah.
That is a really good tactic, so it will be interesting to see what they will end up playing.
So far, Shay's looking to continue to be fairly impressive on Genji as well, and even the way he's been able to use it quite effectively in this defensive context and finding, you know, those key players. We don't know, maybe we might actually see Zebasai and Soon switch roles here for a moment. Zebasai looks like he actually is that Widowmaker here as well. So
2 Widows then.
Yeah, 2 Widows, 2 Monkeys, Genji, what I called, yeah. 1 Widow will probably flank from the back while 1 Widow is staying on the bridge.
Don't say that. I said that earlier, then it didn't happen. And I look stupid.
Oh, okay.
I remember we saw it once earlier and they ran into Symmetric.
Don't try and predict things. That's how you get away with commentating. Just say what you see.
Alright, good advice.
Well, guess what? Crew's at least trying to make a flank to start things off here as well. At least
no, one of the winners went round the back. But he didn't wish you to retract your statement now, Resta.
Yeah, man.
Don't trust your co-commentators. That's also other good advice.
Great for synergy, that is, as well.
But the Widow is actually backed up with the Genji. Crew made the exact same flank, so he isn't actually quite that unprotected.
So what's happening to the main force then as well? Because obviously you're missing a Widowmaker and the Genji was sort of moving forward, messing about then. Do you have enough, I guess, fighting power then to break through in the middle?
Well, the Widows just made 2 kills alone, and the Monk is just going ham on them without really being punished, because you have to either focus the monkeys that are right in your face, or you have to go for the flanks and focus the Widows. So you kind of need to back off and protect yourself from the Widows, which is really hard. They just got stomped like this.
And it's really nice sending the Genji over, because, yeah, you protect the Widowmaker. And the Widowmaker as well was quite smart soon. He actually dropped him when he didn't just kind of stay looking for shots instantly. He kind of took himself a little bit out of position, so they lost his position. And then you have a choice. And if you go chasing him, the payload pushes. If you don't chase him, he comes back in and gets a few kills. And Zebasai also playing the Widow. Leandro is going to have to really have a nice game against 2 Widows here, because again, you can kind of do a similar thing where you have one of your Widows now flank to the right-hand side and create a crossfire.
Yeah, they will definitely continue doing that with crossfiring the Widow. You can already see 1 Widow is in the back of them and just waits for them to go further back and get a pick there.
Yeah,
the Shade saw that and started reflecting.
Good reactions from him as well, but Zebasai, even if he's not getting kills, he's creating threat as well. He's splitting the attention of the defending side. So Northern Gaming Blue definitely need to be focusing on the task at hand, but they've managed to stave off this attack by the looks of things here as well, keeping the cool heads under these tense times. Well, there is a couple Winstons over on that payload. They're going to have to back off, yeah. A couple kills go away as Dunnyby and Euro pick him up.
Idan actually managed to kill one of the Widowmakers, and Shades followed up with a really nice Genji ulti. That kind of won them the team fight.
Crew as well, hoping to do the same. Whoever has a chance, of course. The Dragon Blade is available. Wanting to challenge out Shades here a little bit. It's unlikely that either of these 2 will go in for the kill, especially not Crew. Be exposing himself to that ledge on the left side. You can see through the X-ray, and then both Mercies are actually getting involved as well. And again, this is a bit of a wet noodle fight. None of these guys are really doing enough damage to kill each other.
I mean, they're quite happy pushing the payload right now, the offensive team.
They will have to drop like really soon. Nevix is doing it really smart. He's hiding from the people above, so he can just push the payload.
Well, in the church is actually where some fighting's happened as well, so I don't know if they were trying to chase Crew or what was it, but now Crew coming forward does get knocked down by the Earth Shatter. He'll be pinned up straight to the payload, but that has come quite a long way forward here. A heck of a lot of progress being made by Graviton Surge in approaching this next objective, but now they've got to continue that refight. And Crew having some decent luck there as well. That res seems to have helped them quite a lot. Kratos, good work to you, my friend, and have to try and hold on here as well. They should be able to get it to that next checkpoint and, yeah, breezing straight through the, well, not straight through, a couple of fights there, but pretty comfortable progress through the church phase.
Yeah, they weren't able to get that ulti off on defense on the Mercy, I believe. I'm not sure if he died a little bit earlier. I didn't catch that. But Nevix, yeah, as you mentioned, did a really good job. He's even got now his Primal Rage for what could be the final fight here.
Soon there, just having to back away. Knows that what a Winston going towards his face means. Still 2 Winstons, Dunnyby and Shades actually moving away from the Genji now and just trying to give his team a bit of extra defensive capability, some mobility, and also, of course, the ability to get into the back line and find those key targets. And Crew has responded to this really quickly.
Yeah. Be
Yeah,
nice to stay with
Reaper's
the
really
Reaper.
good Winston counter. Like you can two-shot him if you had headshots.
And so far, one of the monkeys is going to go down, and they're already going to start moving themselves onto the payload. So Crew doing a huge amount of damage, going to get some shots onto the Lucio as well. And still, he's really like uncontested. So far, he's just going to have to run away there. And unfortunately, he was doing great. Other members of his team, not so much. But he's built up to 61% of his Reaper's ultimate. Shades has actually responded as well. He was on a Winston. He was like, nope, we don't need 2 Winstons after his first death. And he looks like he's going to go back to base and change again. Maybe we'll see a Genji. He's been pretty fond of that. But no, he's going to change over to a Bastion. And that's going to be dangerous just against the sniper. But so far, it seems pretty okay.
Graviton Surge swapped away from double Widow now. They're having quite a normal lineup with Reinhardt and only one Widowmaker.
Interesting enough here, they're actually trying to fight on the upper side here as well, and you can see that Kratos is waiting for a res opportunity here. Alone Winston jumping up, and now Shades is starting to make himself known on that Winston pick, causing some problems in from the back lines. And there you're as well, wins the duel, gets the flashbang down, that's all you have to do. And that was the res there that Kratos was waiting for as well. He gets that one off, and the fight going to continue, but Crew had to go the long way, had to walk back in here. Soon also switching over to the Genji, just for that extra pressure into the back.
Haven't seen much from Zebasai so far. We stay on his McCree?
Okay.
Shade is doing so much
making
damage as well. Like he has almost his ultimate.
Well, that Sebastian didn't last very long at all. Zebasai just leaps forward, throws the flash, and gets the fan of the hammer now as well. He was looking for that Mercy, but Ladano shut him down. That's a very important kill to be getting there. Zebasai going the way of the dead at this stage here as well. Ladano, again, just trying to style on up and pick up Soon, who doesn't reflect any of that as well. May have been on cooldown, but now Ladano has to get safe as well. That Death Blossom being used, anyone remotely close would be in deep trouble, but Shade's actually even switching out now to the Tracer.
Mint did a really good job there. He pushed Crew away into the air, but he died from it. But he's kind of saved the other teammates who were close.
Doing a good job, and Shades is very, very low. He has to be careful. Stray bullet would actually claim him there, and it did get healed by Zaf, who's taking some damage himself. Soon still testing the waters, trying to get in on that Genji as well, but is taken out as he puts himself out in the open for a little bit too long, and yet for some reason Skipjack still wants to fight here. I don't know what kind of backup there's going to be. Really just Zebasai for doing damage there. Nevix can't do a heck of a lot himself, and still they're going to play the sound barrier off the back of this one here. And they're hoping Zebasai can definitely pull his socks up and get the damage done.
Yeah, they're still waiting on their Genji to come back in. I believe he should be joining them soon. That comes soon on his Genji. So ultimate is available, and they were in a nice position to use it. So we'll see if this is going to make a difference here as he goes in, does pick out the sniper, really wants to get the Mercy, but unfortunately he's going to be able to get away. Shades drops the pulse bomb and gets the kill, but the res comes in, and we see if they can continue this momentum. They have taken out the enemy Mercy now, and they do have a slight advantage, especially with Crew adding some sustain on his Zarya.
Just as Euro hit his ultimate as well, he gets taken down. This could be a little bit dicey in a few moments here. Graviton Surge making some pretty darn good progress now up this final straight. Ladano's going to have to duck onto that payload for a moment and try and contest it. He did well to stay alive as long as he did, but here comes the Genji spam. He's going to be knocked straight away. Perfect charge. That's exactly what you need to do to deny any ability to stall out on that point. Perfect stuff. I mean, Lucio does it well with the right click, but hey, Skipjack had the right idea and completely stopped.
He knocked one into the air, like all the way into the air, and one opposite
the other
way.
Demon, yeah.
So he kind of took 2 divas out of the fight and prevented them from contesting.
And this is his moment as well. Mate, Skipjack, I had him on the couch earlier on.
Oh, did he join you on the couch? Interview?
Yeah.
He's one of the best Reinhardts, I feel, at this event. What do you think, Ruster?
Probably, yeah, I would say. I think Numlock is also a pretty sick Reinhardt from Creation. But yeah, him and Numlock are probably like the best Reinhardts here.
And as a Reinhardt player yourself...
Definitely not reinforced then.
He's also good, but, you know.
Well, I mean, you're a Reinhardt player yourself. We were joking about it before. It's quite funny you go from playing World of Tanks to being a tank.
Yeah.
You know, you probably get that all the time, actually. But what's the difference between a good Reinhardt and a great Reinhardt? So what's separating, at this event even, the really solid Reinhardt players versus the average ones?
Reinhardt is a lot about game sense. Like, you obviously don't need aim, so you kind of need to know when you have to go in, when you have to like stay back, protect your team, when you have to like start swinging your hammer. It's actually not that easy to know when it's better. Like, you don't see behind you, you only see 180 degrees. You obviously can't turn around and like face check if there's what's going on behind you, because if there's a Widow, the Widow will start shooting you in the back. So it's kind of, the game sense is really important for Reinhardt. So the difference is knowing when to do what, when to have your shield up, when to start like mouse clicking one.
It's also the mind games against the enemy Reinhardt as well. The whole charges. And
Yeah, exactly.
Who, you know, if you can
when-
bait out a
when you have
an
to
ulti.
charge the Reinhardt,
Yeah.
exactly. Flame strike, hitting flame strike is probably not that hard, but you need an awareness when you can actually afford to take down your shield and hit and make a flame strike.
All right, so we're getting ready to go into the second half of this map, and of course it is 1-0 to Graviton Surge, and the time that they set on offense is still pretty decent, I would say, 7 minutes. Could have been a little bit better, of course, because you can do it faster. Well done, James. And Northern Gaming Blue are going to be on the offense, and Shades, his Genji didn't offer too much last game. You know, from the previous series where he played Genji, it was pretty fantastic, but last match he didn't, you know, do a lot on his Genji, but he's going to pick it up here on the offense, and they're actually not going to have the sniper right now, so going for a little bit more sustain for the team, having Ledando on the Zarya. Whether or not they stay, we'll have to see, but it feels like they might.
It's a pretty normal lineup,
Yeah.
maybe except for the Genji, but it's pretty normal.
Well, you got to be pretty scared of Crew on his Junkrat, because
Yeah,
you know, even though you have like shields from the Zarya additionally, and you can get some charge, you know, it doesn't matter sometimes because the fire rate of a Junkrat is huge. Sorry, very, very fast.
And
So-
the Junkrat is really annoying for Reinhardt as well, because you like your shit goes down pretty quick.
Well, Leandro has actually got himself all the way up to almost 100 charge already. He's taken out the trap and going to put some pressure down, and they know the Junkrat's going to be around here spamming, and it looks like he's just going to end up backing off. And Crew, as you can see on the Junkrat, just kind of pushing the team away. So really at the end of that, some people have just got some charge on their ulti, and Nutty B's going to go in, going to take a huge amount of damage, will get a charge onto Nevix, and actually he's going to start swinging, but luckily for that sniper, McCree was able to save him.
That was the only team though, the only kill though that happened
Yeah,
there.
that happened. And now we have, what's the ulti percent? 95% on Nevix. So he did get killed.
He will get a TP. The TP and Sumatra charge is like probably the fastest of all ults, so he's gonna have his ult right now.
So we'll see where he wants to put that.
The only one faster is Mercy in some cases when she's healing people, or like a Roadhog or something.
Yeah, obviously, but I think the charge rate don't do anything. I think
Yeah,
Sumatra
the
is
natural
the-
charge. Yeah.
Yeah.
They do have offensive res, so their Mercy has something going here for Northern Gaming Blue. We'll see if they're going to be able to use it, but with that TP down, it's not always a guarantee that even if you get a great res off that you might be getting the point, and the Junkrat Crew is going to use his ulti, doesn't pick up anybody, but still gets a kill. Well, maybe he did get a
Must
kill
have
from
gotten
that
mid.
one.
Maybe he was off screen. There's quite a large range on the Riptire as well, so
And they're going to send them back. So far, they're just trying to funnel themselves, you know, through this choke point to make the fight go in their favor. But unless they get that Mercy res off in a good way, it feels like, you know, this is just too slow and
My
it's not
opinion,
effective enough.
The Gravitons are hitting all of them, but not sure. Actually, not all of them, only two, so I'm not sure if that's enough. And both of them actually get rest as well, so that Graviton Surge didn't give them anything.
Yeah, and still, we have the Mercy res on Zafi for Northern Gaming Blue, if that's how I say his name. Is that how I say his name? Mitch, do you like that?
that's what I've been saying. Yeah,
Okay, great.
Zaf or Zafir, it depends.
Yeah,
if it's
Zaf
on or
maybe.
not.
So yeah, unfortunately, he's not been able to get a good res off for his team.
Yeah, I
And-
think they should find a different angle than just going the main road. There are different angles. You can go like from the left, from the stairs here, or you can jump from the bridge or even from the right to avoid the Junkrat spam. Like Nutty B never has any shield because the Junkrat is just spamming the hell out of him. So they should try finding different angles from how to attack onto that marketplace.
But Lidando has actually picked up a sniper now on offense, so he can actually go a one-on-one versus soon, and that might be an opening for their team. Unfortunately, misses the shot there onto the McCree. Crew once again has another ulti, just charging it off everybody walking in. Soon will actually get the kill. Leandro is going to respond though, and takes out, just the Junkrat ulti, Riptire.
Yeah, Crew, wishful thinking there. I don't know really what he was trying to create. Maybe looking for the McCree there of Europe, but he was still alive, pretty safe there as well. But despite that, this is just the most stalled out we've seen a team really get.
I mean,
so far.
they haven't handled Crew, and they're still attacking in the same direction. So now they're basically saying, yo, Mr. Sniper, Widowmaker, Ligando, we need you to get a peek, to get a pick. And sometimes it's asking maybe a little bit too much just for a sniper to break this. You know, the team needs to create space. The Graviton Surge sent 2 people around the back. And that, you know, helped him. But they are going to change a little bit. They're going to stop trying to push the payload through and actually get a slightly higher position. But it's really, again, just this sniper that's able to be effective. And Crew could still do a huge amount of damage on defense.
Oh, the fighter seems to have started here as well. It started off well by Urin Shades. Cruz seems to be busy enough dealing with Ladano at the moment, but the rest of his team has just been taken down over the center. That's a big res coming in from Kratos though as well. And he didn't die for it, so we can keep his team healed up. Shades looking now to try and get some retribution and pick him up, but he does. But at what cost? Well, the whole enemy team's already been rezzed up, and he's been pressured heavily by a McCree from range. He's just going to have to back away at this point, reflect what he can, get the health back and jump back into the fight, which, by the way, is still going, but it looks like it's still worked out here for Northern Gaming Blue. They finally made some headway. Still need to deal with this Reinhardt, but Shades looks up to the task.
Shades actually surviving there on like 4 HP a little bit earlier was huge. He's going to be able to pick up Crew potentially, but he might be giving his life for it.
Oh.
He got 3 kills.
What? He killed Shades with the martyrdom. I'm almost certain of it there as well. I mean, he killed himself, but Mint drops. Why are you standing on him when you know you're trying to kill him? You're throwing shurikens at him. He dies. Back away from the grenades he drops.
He died to the Riptide, not to the...
Oh, did he? I thought he put the Riptide outside.
He killed himself and 2 people with his Riptide.
Gotcha. All right.
It is point now for Northern Gaming Blue, though, but they took 5 minutes to get this point, so I imagine it could be really hard to finish this map in time.
And Crew will probably switch off his Junkrat. He's going to be on his own Genji now. Skipjack also has his ulti on defense, but there is a good amount of ultis, and one of them that really adds momentum here for kill potential is going to be Shades on his Genji. So we'll see what he's able to bring. And already, though, the defensive team, Graviton Surge, able to get into a nice position. So breaking this is going to be a little bit tricky, and it's going to be on Shades. But unfortunately, he goes in and gets picked off. The final blow came from Soon on the Winston. A great hero just for slowing down any push, really. And they're playing the time game now.
And Shades actually got behind the entirety of Graviton Surge there, was spotted out at the last minute by Nevix. I think he just turned on him and told the rest of his team quickly to deal with it there. So Ladano's still doing work though. He now gets a bit of a nice perch to start to do some damage from, but he's going to be threatened now because Crew has made the switch to Genji as well.
Ladano might die to Crew here, like it's
gonna
having a
Genji. Own poison grenade, yeah.
The poison mine got set off. Well, we're going to have a res come in, but with 1 minute left, it looks like, unfortunately, not going to be possible here.
Yeah, it's impossible at this point, I think it's safe to say. I mean, they just have to contest for a little bit.
And really it came down to just not being able to adapt on the first point, just being, you know, what you were doing on attack. You know, they needed to try other stuff. It was obvious that what they were doing, you know, initially wasn't working. And it wasn't until they started thinking about taking slightly higher positions and doing some damage, you know, that actually it worked out. But I would say Shades kind of picked him up that with the few kills that he did get.
Well, we're going to hear Deadeye being charged here. Ur manages to get just one on Ladano in mid. That's a beautiful shot towards Zebasai as well. He's going to continue to try and contribute. Oh, Nevix trying to skate up and on high, but Ladano picks him off. And now just sitting back behind the payload, just a big monkey to deal with. But time, gentlemen, is pretty much up. And there is no chance for Northern Gaming Blue to get over the line before that expires. They got choked in that first point. Like, we haven't seen any other team get choked early on in this tournament.
I mean, everyone's been putting Junkrat there for so long, right? Even in the early stages, you know, Junkrat has always been a hero that you've taken on this map just because of that one choke. And teams have always been like, okay, how do we play around this? We take, you know, other directions, and then teams are like, okay, we start flanking, and, you know...
That's why you have double Winston. Like, with double Winston, you don't have the problem of walking up because you can just jump into their faces. So that's the best way to deal with a Junkrat spam. And
like, I've played Widowmaker in, you know, games where the meta was very similar on the defense with the team. If I say their name, it was MD, we call it, Team MD. And when you end up, your team's trying to still do the same strat, but you're on the Widowmaker looking for picks, playing from the front is incredibly difficult because there's still so much spam. They're all looking at you, and the only really viable option is to go around most of the time. With the team doing the same tactic, even with that Widowmaker, Leandro, he didn't get anything really done in a big way, and it wasn't until you saw where the map was much more open and there was much more movement between all the heroes that he was able to pick up some pretty amazing shots actually at the end of the game. But had he had that opportunity on the first point with, you know, as Resta said, adding some Winstons, he actually could have been a factor. But the